The right person needs to get involved and just give it a shake and get to the core.
It's brutal, eh?
But yeah, it's a hard watch at the minute.
I met a Gypsy.
What should Sexton do?
Oh God. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know any of these US guys at all. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
No idea.
Because he's so fucking good when he's good. That's the problem. That's where there's so much unknown comes from. Like, when it works, fuck, it can be so good. But again, I don't know.
You haven't really had to deal with change of motorcycles.
No, never.
Really, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah.
Once you got
To
on
me-
fucking...
Obviously, the Prado thing doesn't support what like this statement, but I feel like it can't just be the bike now.
Marchbank's got fourth.
Exactly, and
Missed out
this
on third
happened
by a
on
bee's dick.
KTM. This happened. It didn't like Honda. Like it was.
Yeah.
The Prado thing throws that up in the air a little bit, but it's just like a common thing now where I feel like he needs to figure something out. But again, I'm literally 100 feet view of this, so. But from my side, I feel like he has to. I don't know. It's fucking. It must be. All I'll say is with it being within his circle must be fucking frustrating.
I'm going to give a crazy take. I'm saying this liking Chase. Super good dude.
No, I think he's. I've never met him. I've watched his videos, and I think he's like a real likable guy, though.
Yeah, and he is just in person. Lovely dude. So it sucks to have a take.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have a take. I think, like the stock market, right? Do you ever buy stocks?
I fiddle with it a little bit. Don't really know what I'm doing.
So, when you're like looking at a stock and you're like, what's earnings versus like, what's the company worth?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a ratio between like, well, this is what they make every year versus this is what the stock price is. Like it kind of makes sense, right? But then you can have these companies that are like insanely overvalued for what they actually make, and their value is on potential, essentially, right? So you look at the first 250 title, Faulkner crashes out of it, Chase wins the title. 450 title, Eli was going to win it, does the Achilles, Coop gets knocked out the next weekend, or I think I might be getting it wrong. He wins that championship. The outdoor title, Jett crashes out. He wins the outdoor title. So it's like and the whole time that this has been happening, I fully believe that he is like capable and fast to the point where he could have won all of those on his own, But if you look at the reality of what has happened when he's won these championships, so then you fast forward to 2026, January, and he's this like championship favorite guy. And every championship he's in, he's expected to be the guy because look at the past. Look at what he's done.
I think he is that good, though.
But is he?
I think he is.
But that's what I'm starting now to wonder whether he is that good, because when you look at all of these things stacked up, and then he was good on Honda, but he had two really fast teammates. He had Roxon there, then he had Jett. So like the bike was good. And then you go to KTM and they've got data from everywhere, from all over the world. So then they kind of get that bike in a window. And then he goes to Cowie where he's on his own. And it's just been Jason Anderson, and there's no help. You can't share anything from the GPs. Like, I think it just really exposed him in a way that he hasn't been exposed before. And so now this is like my take, is I'm like, is he overvalued? Like, is his stock price crazy high because of these championship wins? But like, did we get those wins wrong? And now that he's in this role where it's all on him, the whole team, he's the A rider, there's nothing else around, and it's kind of just exposed the lack of, I guess, well, there's something missing. Something's missing. He can't set up the motorcycle.
Yeah, I think he doesn't know what he needs from the bike.
Yeah.
Again, I don't feel like I'm qualified to give takes on this, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, how do you think I feel?
Well, yeah, but it's your job almost to make takes, whereas I'm a bit like, but I do think he is that good.
And I have this whole time too.
Like there's rides within them. Okay, them championships. It doesn't happen that many times. You're in contention that many times for it to happen. Okay, maybe you win one title because two guys get injured, but not that many times. I think especially then when he first went onto a 450 on them, some of them times on a Honda, like he was so fast. Obviously, Jett wasn't in the class, but I don't know. To me, you don't look into that many titles, but you're 100% right in the fact that there's something missing still. And I don't know how you find that if you're him.
Yeah, so then you have, and it's just, I'm questioning it now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, maybe.
Well, it's at the point where
You have to ask
it's
questions.
not a ludicrous point anymore, when it's like now 3 teams and however many years in a row effectively of, similar things.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he has that crazy crash. Like, when the fuck do you see that happen to someone that good? Whether it was like a bike thing, but I mean...
But even his crash at Paula last year was also pretty nuts.
Yeah.
On the finish, was that on the finish line?
Yeah.
Something to do with a tear off or...
Dude, and then, remember his fucking
The
crash
Iron
at Ironman? That's what I'm saying.
There's some conspiracy about to get drawn up here. Like,
That's what there's something going on, and he's won a lot of championships. And I'm thinking about this from a compassionate standpoint to him, because it's like, imagine if you're going to the track every single week.
No, I often think, again, I don't know any of these people, but not that I know anything about psychology or anything, but there's times where I'm like, you're so good. Like, do you need to talk to someone? That might be ridiculous.
Is there a hotline?
It might be. He might have talked to someone and psychologist or whatever.
The problem is you can, dude. I have a therapist.
Yeah, I've worked with people various times before.
But you still have to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can gaslight yourself.
True.
That's the thing. You can you can on paper do all of the things. And me and my wife do therapy ever since we got married. I was like, we're getting a marriage counselor. She's like, we just got married. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. So we've been doing it for fucking years, right? And there's literally been times where we've gone away from it. I'm like, we literally just didn't tell the truth about anything.
Lodged myself on that.
All we did was that was fucking bullshit, bro. I'm like, the next time we do this, maybe we should fucking tell the truth. Because that's a thing. So you could be talking to a fucking expert in psychology, and then you can lie to them, because you're lying to yourself, and it's like, that's it. So yeah, maybe I'm ticking all the boxes I'm doing. That's a whole thing. But now that he's somebody needs to get hold of the situation, because it is figurable. It's fixable. I feel like for somebody, it's fucking sad.
And when it is fixable, is that good? That's why, I think, the right person needs to get involved and just give it a shake and get to the core.
It's brutal, eh?
But yeah, it's a hard watch at the minute.
But so I'll finish my take with the compassionate side. So trying to but I think so when you have expectations of expectations breed disappointment, right? If I expected,
but I can't not have expectations with what he's won.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I think
But and I'm just like, maybe we should entertain this, right? Faulkner crashes out, title. Second time, title, 250 title. 450 title, 2 guys crash out, title. 450 motocross title, Jett crashes out, title. So it's like, maybe, like, and this is the thing about honesty, where I'm like, if we're being honest, because you can go forward in this situation, but we have to be honest about where we're at. Maybe these titles that you won.
But to me, okay, but that also doesn't explain what happens when he goes on the track, because the incidents are fucking freakish, though.
The expectations. So, like, this is kind of what I'm saying, right? So when you're going with these expectations and you're looking at just the resume on paper and not paying any lip service to like any of these things, like maybe we all just expect too much of this guy, and maybe he expects too much of himself, and maybe that's why he gets in these crazy situations, is because he thinks he's level with Jett and he thinks he's level with these guys, but like history just does not, history is not in his favor that he can beat Jett Lawrence.
Maybe he needs to be sat here.
He wouldn't want to hear this. But like if you start from there, and if you're honest and you go like, hey, I actually can't beat this dude. I've never fucking beaten this dude. This expectation of me going out there and beating this guy right fucking now, let's just get that off the table.
Yeah.
Let's get a top 5. And you know what I mean? Like, I think that if you can be honest about where you're actually at, that's the way to move forward. But I think when there's this expectation that he needs to fucking beat Jett, and every time he's on the track, it's like, dude,
I think
you're not going to be able to run from there.
At some stages, there definitely has been a lot of, he's the only one that can beat Jett. So like, it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Expectations.
Yeah, like that has been there, where the hopes of everybody or like on his shoulders, because he's the only one that people think can even get close. So that definitely has been there a lot. Which,
and I just think when you're living from that place, you know, like it would be very hard to be like honest, because even that's not honest, you know, like to have that expectation. Like you actually just shouldn't expect that you can beat Hunter or Jett at this point, and you should go, let's operate from this space. But now he's had that crash, and it's like, that's why I'm like, where do you go from here? Because if I'm Chase's crew, I'm like, okay, we're getting a stock Cowie, we're going to put a pipe on it, we're going to put the right springs on it, and a fucking PC pipe, and just put 100 hours on the fucking thing. Like, just figure out this motorcycle, just get back to basics.
Like if I was him, like I could, from just my own personality, if I was like those guys, I'd fucking hate having 5 people at the track with us every day. Come off the track, like there's times I can feel quite a lot on a bike, and there's times when I can test quite in depth, but there's also times, like there's times my practice mechanic doesn't even come to the track. I'm like, I'm coming to pick my bike up, I need to be by myself this week. And I just fucking I like being by myself a lot of the time. Whereas for them guys, that's not an option. And if I was in their shoes, I would struggle with that, you know, like clipboards walking at you as soon as you sit down. Like, I get that there's times when you need to do that, but like, if I was him now, I would literally say, just leave a bike at the practice track and just leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think for them, that's not a normal thing to say or do, but just from my perspective, like I'd be like, I would want to just load the bike up in my truck myself, drive there myself, and just fuck around.
Yeah.
You know?
I couldn't agree more. I reckon you take a stock bike, do the shit that you have to do. Obviously, it's so fucking fast. Like,
just make it safe.
Yeah, there's a level of things that you have to do.
And just leave it.
Don't give a fuck how fast it is. Don't give a fuck how it handles. No stopwatches are allowed. No mechanics are allowed. You go to the track when everyone else is doing their 30s. Or no, you don't go to the track when everyone else is doing their 30s.
Turn up whenever you want.
And you just fucking ride.
And I would like not even have it fucking washed after, just turn up right at the next day. I don't know.
No
for me,
fresh tyres,
there's something
nothing.
therapeutic about just a fucking beater, which you just like. There's therapy in that for me. It is for me anyway. Like,
keep going. I fucking agree.
like that's when there was times I just need to be by myself.
You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.